Hey, TOTers, how you doing? Today we're going to take a look at SpiraLinux. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification button. Now, I've already done this review. The developer is an anonymous developer or maintainer and developer, actually. And he is the one-man gang. He goes by a pen name of Sam, and he does SpiraLinux, and he also does Gecko Linux. He calls them spins. He doesn't like to call them distributions because, like Gecko Linux, SpiraLinux, all the hardcore maintenance is done by actual, Debian themselves, because it's based off of Debian 11.5. And so all he does is he takes and he customizes it to make it a great out of the box user friendly development and spin, so that way basically you can just load it and go and start using it and doing whatever it is that you want to do with it, as far as like surfing the web, watching videos, whatever. It's got all the codecs installed for you, both proprietary and non-proprietary, so it's completely set up for you to use. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. This is it right here. Clean, neat. As with this other one right here in the upper left corner is language support. So if you need to install a language that is not already available through the Calamares installer to set it, you can do that as well here to change your language support for the OS. Just like Gecko Linux, if you use that one, it's based on OpenSUSE. This one's based on Debian. Of course, I've just said that. But they have the same look and feel because he's consistent. The top has the panel. At the bottom, he's got a dock. In the top, I love the transparency that he's given through this. This is pretty awesome. At the top, you have your application launcher. Then you have your 4 virtual desktops. In the middle, you have your time and date. If you click on it, it gives you this. You can set up preferences, the calendar, yada yada yada. And next to it is your notifications, which it's showing me that since I've installed it on this virtual machine, I have one software update to do. So we can take a look at that in a little bit. You got your clipboard, you got your internet connectivity indicator, as well as your volume, your power session, and then a side panel that pops out that has your calendar. This is the Budgie desktop, by the way. It has your calendar in it, volume indicator, and if you're playing any music, it'll tell you that, as well as your microphone indicator. So you can mute it or you can boom it, whatever you want to do. Either way, there's that. At the bottom on the dock, you have your file manager that's clipped to it. You have your Firefox browser, which is the ESR, I believe version 1.02. Let's go ahead and open it up, take a look at it. And let's open up. There we are. So if we go here, we go to help, we go to about 1.02.3. There it is. So, yep, it's got Firefox ESR in it. Why are you not closing? Okay, so there's that. Then here's your system settings. We'll go ahead and open that up so you can look at it. This is like your typical standard GNOME style system settings, and also KDE, but a lot less settings to be adjusted, like KDE, because KDE you can adjust whatever you want in KDE. That's what it's known for, the high customization ability for it. So you got network, Bluetooth, background, yada yada yada, all these settings in here that you can go for, which is your standard, basic default ones that you'll get in like LXFCE or whatever settings manager, or XFCE settings manager, all that good stuff. Software Center, and then also it's got the Synaptic Package Manager, which is a GUI graphical user interface for the apt package manager. So we'll click on that. You open it up. See, this looks a lot like Yast. You've got your different categories over here, cross-platform apps, that you'll find on everything from Windows to OS, the Mac OS to Linux. So this is what that looks like. Now, if we open the Software Center, it looks just like all the other stuff, like Discover, Ubuntu Software Center, all that stuff. Although this has flat software repositories, I believe, has Flatpak already installed, which I'm not sure. Other software, Bullseye. This is where you can change those updates, authentication. I read, I think, yeah, it does have Flatpak support installed on it. I know that for a fact. For the updates, let's go ahead and take a look. OS updates, I'm not going to do because that could take a while. And then there's Thunderbird as well. So I'm not going to install that, but let's go ahead, and this is, if you click on install, this will tell you what's installed on your computer. I mean, it's like a typical standard software center. So let's go ahead and see if NeoFetch is installed. No, it's not in there. So let's go and open up this Synaptic. And we're going to search for NeoFetch. Oh, I believe it's installed. So let's hit Control-Alt-T to open up a terminal. Will that open up a terminal? Does not. Okay, well, let's go down here. Let's go to System Tools. Let's go to, where the heck is Terminal? Because it's under Utilities, not System Tools. And let's type in NeoFetch. Yes, it is already installed. Wonderful. So we're running the Bullseye Edition 11.5, kernel 518. We are doing, there's 1,700 packages installed on this, including Flatpak, as you can see. 2 Flatpaks are installed. Bash, and the Budgie with the window manager Mutter, which is the Budgie window manager. Also Numix and the Forenza Dark Icon theme with the GNOME terminal. And it is using 1.2 gigs of my 4 gigs of RAM. I've also opened up things in the background as well. So anyhow, so yeah, it's that's pretty reasonable for what it has. So if we go and click on the menu up here, this will drop down all your, categorized accessory, applications. So under all, of course, that's like all the applications installed. Under accessories, you've got these usual accessories that are installed. Wall Street Control, Window Shuffler Control. You got Files, which if you click on it, just standard file manager. It is Nemo version 4.8. So, like I said, once you've seen one file manager, you've seen them pretty much all of them. There isn't, with the exception of like Ranger, which is a terminal-based file manager. It's a little different, but still, file managers are file managers. You have, here you can check your firmware and upgrade, I believe, your firmware drivers and stuff like that. It's taking a little second because it's scanning and detecting and all that good stuff. Let's see what it says when it opens up. And it seems to just be hanging, but that could be because I'm in a virtual machine and the firmware is emulated and not the actual firmware. So that could be why it's hanging up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and close out of that. You got your menu editor, so you can edit your menus. Under administration, you've got your Grub Customizer, your Light DM Greeter, which is what you're greeted with when you first boot up, where you can put in your username and your session and your password. It's got the Synaptic Package Manager, time and date, and users and groups. You can add users, remove users through there. Under graphics, you've got drawing, which is like Paint, your G-Thumb image viewer, regular image viewer, and LibreOffice Draw. Under internet, you have Pigeon, Firefox, Thunderbird, and Transmission, which is a BitTorrent client. Under Office, you have HP. Wow, it's got HP Lib already installed and set up for you, so printers are taken care of. Once again, that's another pin in the hat to show that he has installed everything that a user might need to install and has become and made it 100% user friendly right out of the box. LibreOffice is completely installed as well. For under other software, you've got language support, print settings. Oh, he's even installed Snapper. So a lot of you may not know what Snapper is. Snapper is a system restore tool that you could use to revert in case you do something that messes up your system. You can revert back to the last known good configuration. Under preferences, you have the HP lip toolbox, previews control, settings, software updates. Sound and video, he has Clementine music player, Pavu control, VLC for the media player, and actually a sound recorder, which is kind of like a very watered down version of like Audacity. You can't add effects and like reverb and all that kind of stuff like you can in Audacity or Audacious. But anyhow, you can record sounds with it. Under system tools, you have the Budgie desktop settings, which that's kind of a cool tool because it lets you customize your Budgie desktop. Like here, you can do themes like Dark's already enabled built-in theme, animations, all that good stuff. You can change your desktop icons. You can do all, turn them on and off. You can do all that good stuff. So, I mean, these are different things that will actually let you customize the actual desktop itself to do what it is that you want to do. It's got dconf editor, which is a editor, GW package installer, which so if you download a .deb file on the internet for installing something, you can actually use that to install it. Of course, you've got your GNOME software, Gparted partitioner, HTOP multi-writer is a ISO USB image writer. Network tools, that's cool. That actually is a little host of tools that you can use to do things with your internet, like ping, netstat. You can trace route, an address. You can do check port scans on your home internet to find out which ports are open or closed. You can look up things, finger, and you can whois. So I mean that's kind of cool little tool that he's installed right out the box. And of course, you got the software center. The utilities is your standard one. It's got your archive manager, GNOME disks, calculator, advanced network configuration where you can do proxy network settings, that kind of stuff. Doc scanner, document viewer, which is a PDF viewer, screenshot tool, your system monitor, which is your typical GNOME system monitor for resources. This is a nice little graphical user interface for basically what HTOP would give you if you're running through the command line. So there's that. And then, of course, your terminal, which is your, I believe, GNOME terminal. Yep, GNOME terminal right out the bat in version 3.38. So anyhow, there is a brief look at SpiraLinux. Once again, Sam has done a fantastic job of curating exactly what it is that a user will need right from the get-go with the multimedia codecs to little things like the network tools, and having installed the HP printer support on here. I cannot compliment him anymore. All of his desktop environments on both OpenSUSE and SpiraLinux are the same way. They're very well curated, very well maintained. However, do note that OpenSUSE in a few years will be, or Leap will be going away and becoming Alps or Alp, something else that they're going to be doing. And I'm sure that once he gets a beat on that and gets more information on that, he'll probably be making spins for that as well. That's just kind of an assumption. I don't have any actual knowledge on whether he will or not because he hasn't communicated to me on that. But he does like to infer that these are definite spins because of the nature that the actual parent distribution that he based these off of does all the maintaining, and he just does spins on them. So either way, Sam, kudos to you on your updates and the cleanliness that you keep maintaining on this. If you have not tried SpiraLinux, I strongly suggest you do. If you're a Debian-based fan, if you are a SUSE-based fan, hey, jump over to Gecko Linux, give it a try. It's equally stable as well. Either way, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day and keep on Linuxing.